Hello, ladies, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Marcella Christina, and on this channel, I teach women how to become their highest selves. So if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to subscribe. And if you're not new here, welcome back, girlies. I'm so excited to have you here with me today. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to spend some time with me. I'm really excited about this topic that we're going to dive into today because it's something that really just came to me today earlier as like a revelation, and it made so much sense. It was so profound, and I just wanted to get on here and really just share with you guys what I believe God gave to me today. So, what he told me was that in order for us to really live out our dream lives and become the dream women that we want to be, we have to stop surviving. And it's so much more than just getting out of survival mode. It's more so about understanding that they are literally two different experiences. I think that what was most profound to me is understanding that some people have never lived life before. They've been alive, right? They've been alive for 20 years, 30 years plus, but they've never really lived their life before. And it's because living is truly a decision, it's truly a conscious decision. And that's something that I really want to dive into today. So let's get right into it, right? So some of us have had to survive life, right? Some of us were born into, you know, poverty. Some of us were born into, toxic family relationships. Some of us came from hard environments, grew up in rough neighborhoods, et cetera, et cetera. And some of us have had to survive. All we've ever known was survival. We haven't ever understood what life and living truly entailed, right? And because of this, we have had an experience with life that was something that we had to fight, something that we had to get through, right? Something that we had to basically put our walls up for in order to be in it, right? Because that was the only way we could be in it, right? If you weren't able to put food on the table, if resources were scarce, if money was scarce, if knowledge was scarce, right? People didn't know what to do, they didn't know how to make better decisions, then survival became a way of life. And I really want us to like lean into that because it's a way of life. It isn't life itself. And when you're in survival and when you're born into survival or scarcity, that is the only life that you know. So it's really hard for you to ever envision or step out of the fact that this could possibly just be one reality or one version of life, right? And so when we think about stepping into our dream life or our dream version, a lot of the time we think of, well, what would it be like if we didn't have this scarcity? What would it be like if we were born in a different neighborhood, in a different zip code, different weather? We were around different people. And we have these visions of ourselves that are happier, right? Are living in alignment, are living in places that feel more aligned with us, things that we desire, things that we know that we are drawn to, right? And that's really important because that is in itself the blueprint of where it is that we need to be and what it is that we need to be doing. And so that takes me back to the point and the revelation that God gave me today is that, you know, they don't go together. Survival and living your life at the highest level don't go together. And you're going to have to choose. There's going to be a point in your life where you're going to have to choose to live it. You're going to have to choose to live your life. Regardless of how many years you spent surviving it, you're going to have to make that decision to follow the road less traveled by or whatever you're going to call that, split in the road. And so many times when we come to this point in our lives, for whatever reason, a lot of people are so afraid to take that road because they say, I don't really know how I would get there. I don't really know what would be the first step, or, you know, I just don't know if that's something that I can actually even go after because I don't know life there. That's not how I've ever experienced life. And I just want us to understand that the person that we envision in our minds, right? The one that's, whether it's working out or taking cooking classes or speaking a different language or getting the PhD or marrying, the man or whatever, that version is literally giving us the game. Ladies, it's not something that we're just dreaming in our head. Like that version of us is literally giving us the game about what it is that we actually want. And so instead of spending our time doubting the fact that we could ever get there or doubting the fact that could ever be our reality, we should be reverse engineering exactly what we're being put onto. Because this is God showing us this is where I want, this is what I want for you. This is the woman that I've called you to be, right? For some women, that's going to be a pop star, or it's going to be a poet or an author or a doctor, or there's and disclaimer, shout out to my girls that are in the medical fields, all of the nurses, all of the doctors, the women that are really saving lives. I'm in awe of you, because what you do really, you literally save lives. And not only for a living, but that's how you spend your life. You spend your life pouring into other people and saving people's lives and nursing people back to health and honestly doing the Lord's work. And I applaud you so much for what you do, but also because I know that I'm not called to do it. And that's how you know when God is really like in your life, because it's like you're not trying to live someone else's dream, right? I haven't ever envisioned myself as a nurse or a doctor. Love them down. I really do. But like, that's just not for me. That's not my calling, right? And so I haven't ever sat down and visualized myself as a nurse because that's just not what God has given me. That's not my gift. So if you are getting like visions of yourself in a different city doing a different thing, you have to understand how how powerful that is and how much of a gift that truly is, because you're literally holding your future in your hands, and all you have to do is literally close the gap. And how do you do that? By reverse engineering, right? So to get back into the choice, right? At some point you're going to have to say, okay, I've been surviving my whole life. I've been picking up the extra shifts. I've been, you know, making the dollar stretch. I've been doing all of those things. When am I going to decide to live this thing? Like, when am I actually going to say, okay, this was an experience. I'm grateful for what it taught me, because, coming from this, it's not all bad, right? Coming from certain environments and certain financial backgrounds and all that, it's not all bad. You learn a lot. You learn a lot about how to be smart with money, how to be resourceful, how to be creative. And so at some point you have to take what it is that that experience gave you, and you have to make a conscious decision, key phrase there, to say, okay, I'm no longer going to survive life, I'm going to live it. And if living it means that I'm going to take a chance and step out on the thing that I know, okay, I should be doing, and doing the things that I know I should be doing, regardless of how afraid I am, regardless of how long in my mind I think it's going to take. I'm just going to do that thing, because at the end of the day, I know that that's the thing that's going to close the gap for me. I know that the fact that I'm supposed to be posting 2 to 3 times a day or 2 to 3 times a week on social media is the thing that would bridge the gap between me not being a social media influencer and the vision that God gave me of being an influencer. I know that the thing I'm supposed to be doing is studying for an hour or two after work to get the certificate or get the degree, because I know that the vision that God gave for me is to be able to do this particular thing, or to level up my career or contribute to my company or whatever, my community. Those are the things that we need to be doing, because at the end of the day, we do know what we should be doing, right? We do actually know. We might not know all of this thing, like the little details, but we don't have to know all of those things. All we need to know is where we're going and what that next step would be, regardless of whether it's a big step, a little step. Like, what is that next step? And then just walk in that direction. And the next thing you know, all of the things that you need start just showing up on this path. And then you get more momentum, and then you become more confident, and then you just, you take bigger steps, you take bigger strides, and all of a sudden now you're living your life. You're literally living your life just because you made a conscious decision to say, you know what? I'm literally not going to survive this anymore. Like, I'm literally just not going to sit here and let life just like, you know, beat me up. Like, I'm going to fight back. And it's not from a place of struggle or scarcity. I'm going to make the decision to say, no, this is not what I want. This is not the experience that I want. This is not the life that God has for me, because He already showed me the life that God has for me, that He has for me. So I'm going to actively take my time and my energy and walk in that direction. And another thing I want to mention about women that have a background of scarcity or struggle, I want you to understand that it wasn't a prerequisite, right? It wasn't a prerequisite. It's just what happened. It just so happens to be part of the story. But how you decide to look at that story is entirely up to you. I feel like a lot of times women that are born in scarcity feel like they assume they internalize the scarcity so much that they feel like they were supposed to go through it in order to get out and go to some other side. And I just want you to know, because that took me years to overcome, it's really not even that. It just so happened to be the circumstances. And again, how you decide to interpret the circumstances is entirely up to you. Some perceptions will liberate you and the others will chain you. I say to go for the experiences and the perspectives that will liberate you. What did you learn? What did you learn? How did you learn to be resourceful? How did you learn to interact with people in your community? What did you see? What do you think that your community would need? Who do you think that they would need? Who could you become to better serve your community, right? What did you learn? And then you just take what you learned and you literally just decide to live your life and to be your best version and to literally become the woman of your dreams, because there is no requirement. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to like graduate from it. It's not anything to graduate from. It's really more so a thing of deciding. It's really deciding, because what I'm realizing is a lot of women will will escape poverty, escape the hood, make it to the next level, make more money, but they still have that scarcity mindset. They still have that struggle mindset. And it's because they feel like they're waiting for someone to release them. They're waiting for someone to say, congratulations, you've passed. And it's like, that person is not going to come. That person's not going to come unless, of course, it's God. And again, He gave me this message to come on here today and tell you, like, you literally can free yourself and loose yourself by just making the decision to say, you know what, I'm going to live my life. I'm not in scarcity. I don't care what anyone's saying. I don't care what the bank account is saying. I don't care about any of that. I literally am just going to decide to live my life, and I'm going to do everything that's within my power to go out there and get it done. I'm just going to go and get it done. Like, it's just going to be no other way. Like, that is the way that it's going to get done, you know? And again, I just thought that that was so profound, because it's like, really, the only, like, what's actually happening is always how we're perceiving it. It's always what we think is actually happening. And if we just decide to make conscious decisions, then we can end up, quite literally, we will end up in the life that God has had for us. And I think that that's just like the most beautiful thing, because it's like, there there are no limitations, there are no barriers to entry when we're talking about children of God, when we're talking about what God has in store for us. There are no limitations on us, right? And I just think that that's something that we need to lean into, especially as we end the third quarter, step into the fourth quarter. We have like 3 to 4 more months of the year. And I truly believe that this is going to be the time where we really lock in. We really, completely commit to living our best lives and taking, not settling. Like, we're not taking no for an answer. We're literally locking into our best lives because we've made our minds up. Okay. So, really excited that I was able to get on here and share that message with you ladies. If you made it to the end of this video, I want you to comment locked in. Okay, locked in. And I just really want to say that I'm really excited for all of us here on this channel. I know that so many of us here are literally resetting, reorienting ourselves. We're not waiting for the new year to make up our minds or to drop bad habits or to, you know, refocus. And that's literally what it is. That's what being your highest self is all about, right? It's just being able to reset and reorient yourself at any point in your life and start over at any point in your life and get the life that you deserve. Okay. So thank you, ladies, for spending some time with me today. I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.